In the year 2425, humanity had extended its reach beyond the Milky Way, mingling with alien civilizations that surpassed the wildest science fiction dreams of the past centuries. Starships roamed freely through the interstellar lanes, and alien commerce bloomed under human administration. On the fringes of the Andromeda Galaxy, the human-operated mining colony on Xylon 2 buzzed with activity, extracting rare minerals crucial for intergalactic technology. At the heart of this bustling colony stood Dr. Eliana Morse, a xenobiologist dedicated to studying the diverse life forms that the universe harbored. With her sharp intellect and insatiable curiosity, Eliana had become a respected figure among her peers, her days filled with analyzing alien flora and fauna. One crisp morning, while Eliana was cataloging the cellular structure of a luminescent fungal specimen, an urgent message beeped on her communicator. It was from her assistant, Jonah, who sounded unusually tense. "Dr. Morse, you need to come to the restricted sector immediately. It's about the specimen from planet Vortex 3. Eliana's heart skipped a beat. The specimen in question was a sentient being, one of the first of its kind to be discovered. She rushed through the metallic corridors of the research facility, her mind racing with possibilities. Upon entering the isolated lab, she was greeted by Jonah and a group of heavily armed guards. Inside a secure containment unit, the alien, whom they had nicknamed Aria, paced restlessly. Aria's skin shimmered with iridescent scales, reflecting the artificial lights overhead. Her eyes, large and expressive, conveyed a deep intelligence and an unmistakable sense of awareness. Eliana approached the containment field, her gaze meeting Aria's. There was a profound connection, an unspoken understanding that had grown between them over the past months. Aria had learned a basic form of human language, and her ability to communicate had fascinated everyone at the facility. "Dr. Morse," Aria's voice resonated through the translator device, her tone filled with urgency. "I can't stay here anymore. I need more. I need to be part of something. I need you." Eliana felt a shiver run down her spine. The declaration was as unsettling as it was unexpected. She studied Aria, trying to decipher the emotions that flickered across her alien features. "Aria, what do you mean? Are you saying you want to leave this facility?" Eliana asked, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside her. Aria moved closer, her gaze intense. "Not just leave. I need to merge. With you, Eliana. I've studied your kind. Your capacity for emotional depth, your physical form. I desire to experience life as you do. To feel what you feel." The room fell silent, the gravity of Aria's words hanging heavily in the air. Eliana turned to Jonah and the guards, their faces a mix of confusion and concern. "I need some time alone with her," Eliana said firmly. "Clear the room." As the door shut behind the last of the guards, Eliana turned back to Aria. The alien's eyes were pools of longing and sincerity. "Eliana, I've reached the limits of what this containment can teach me. To evolve, to truly understand, I must connect with you on a deeper level." Eliana pondered the ethical and scientific ramifications. A fusion with an alien being was unprecedented, fraught with unknowns. Yet the potential to bridge their species, to share knowledge and existence in a way no one else could, was tantalizing. "Aria, if we do this, it changes everything. You understand that, right?" Eliana asked, her voice barely a whisper. Aria nodded, her expression serene yet eager. "Yes, and I believe it's the next step for both of us, to blend our essences, to share our minds and bodies. I can't resist this need any longer, Eliana. I want you to be inside me, to be part of me." Eliana took a deep breath, her decision resonating with the weight of history about to be made. "Okay, Aria, let's explore this together." As Aria's containment field lowered, Eliana stepped forward, her heart pounding with a mix of fear, excitement, and the thrill of the unknown. This was the beginning of something extraordinary, a journey into the depths of life's mysteries. And so, hand in hand with the alien, Eliana Morse crossed the threshold into a new existence. Eliana felt the air change as the barrier between her and Aria dissolved. The laboratory, once filled with the sterile chirp of machines, now echoed with the soft, rhythmic pulsing of Arya's life force. Arya extended a hand, her fingers slightly trembling. When their skins touched, a jolt of unfamiliar energy surged through Eliana, her vision blurring into a kaleidoscope of colors she had never seen before. "Relax, Eliana." Arya's voice resonated directly in her mind, bypassing her ears entirely. "Let our energies align." The process was less a physical merging and more a profound psychic connection. Eliana's consciousness began to expand, enveloping and intertwining with Arya's. Thoughts, memories, emotions, and sensations flowed between them like twin rivers meeting in an unstoppable confluence. Eliana could feel Arya's curiosity, her alien sense of wonder, and above all, her loneliness. As they delved deeper into each other's psyche, Eliana witnessed the world through Arya's senses, the electromagnetic fields, the subtle shifts in temperature, and the life force of every living thing. The laboratory was no longer just a room, but a vibrant ecosystem teeming with hidden life. Concurrently, Arya was experiencing human emotions through Eliana, each moment of joy, sorrow, and love magnified by her alien perception. The emotional intensity overwhelmed Arya at first, but Eliana's inner calm steadied her, guiding her through the tumultuous human psyche. "What is this sadness?" Arya inquired, touching upon a tender memory of Eliana's, a lost love, a fellow scientist who had vanished in a cosmic anomaly years ago. "It's grief, Arya. It's what humans feel when they lose someone they cherish," Eliana explained, her voice a comforting echo in their shared space. "I see. It's painful, yet beautiful. It makes the love more precious," Arya reflected. As the initial flood of shared experiences began to ebb, they found themselves in a state of equilibrium. Eliana noticed changes in her own perceptions. Her senses were heightened, and she could feel the molecular vibrations of the walls, the flow of electricity through the lab's circuits. Arya, now partly human in her emotions, began to understand the human condition, not just through observation, as she had before, but through living it within Eliana. They decided to explore their surroundings together. Moving as one, they approached the lab's exit, their combined form more graceful than Eliana's had ever been alone. The door slid open automatically, and they stepped into the corridor where Jonah was waiting, his face a mask of concern and curiosity. "Dr. Morse, are you all right?" he asked, eyeing them warily. "We are more than all right, Jonah. We are new," Eliana replied, her voice a harmonious blend of her own and Arya's. Jonah nodded, though his eyes still held a flicker of doubt. "What should I tell the others?" "Tell them," Eliana paused, considering their next steps. "Tell them that this is a breakthrough. Tell them Arya and I are now exploring what this fusion can mean for all of us." With a new purpose, Eliana and Arya moved through the colony, each step testing the limits of their combined capabilities. Their minds, still linked, began to plot a course that would lead not just to mutual understanding, but potentially to a new frontier of existence where human and alien could coexist more intimately than ever before. They were ready to face whatever challenges this new state of being would bring, driven by a shared vision that was boundless in its possibilities. As Eliana and Arya ventured outside the confines of the laboratory, the compound of Xylon 2 unfolded before them with newfound clarity. The colony, a sprawling network of domes and tunnels, pulsed with the activities of its inhabitants, both human and robotic. Now, with Arya's perceptions enhancing her own, Eliana could sense the electromagnetic whispers of machines and the subtle biochemical exchanges between the colony's diverse flora. The pair headed towards the central dome, where the colony's governance council convened. The news of their fusion had rippled through the community, sparking a mix of awe, fear, and speculation. As they entered the dome, a hush fell over the crowd gathered within. Eyes wide with a blend of trepidation and curiosity followed their every step. At the front of the room stood the council, a panel of seasoned officials who had overseen the colony's operations for decades. The chairwoman, Dr. Helen Ramirez, a stern woman with a no-nonsense demeanor, addressed them first. "Dr. Morse, this is highly irregular. You know the protocols for alien contact. How can you assure us that what you've done is safe, not just for you, "But for all of us?" she asked, her voice echoing in the silent dome. Eliana, with Arya's calm infusing her, replied, "This fusion, while unprecedented, offers us invaluable insights. We are now privy to sensory modalities and cognitive abilities far beyond human norms. We understand your concerns, but together, Arya and I can explore potentials beneficial for human and alien relations. We pose no threat. Rather, we offer a bridge." Another council member, Dr. Theo Barnett, known for his conservative views on interspecies interactions, chimed in, "But how can we trust this entity? Dr. Morse, you are not just human anymore. How do we know where your loyalties lie?" Arya spoke then, her voice a soothing counterpoint to Eliana's. "I am still Arya, just as Eliana is still herself. We remain individuals, but we share a combined perspective that enhances our understanding and empathy. Our loyalty is to life and its flourishing, across all species." The council murmured among themselves, considering the implications. Eliana and Arya waited, a serene confidence emanating from their joined form. After a moment, Dr. Ramirez gestured for silence. "Very well. We will need to observe and study this partnership closely. You will be allowed to continue your work under supervision. This is a new frontier, and it must be navigated carefully," she decreed. Eliana and Arya acknowledged the decision with a nod, their minds buzzing with the myriad possibilities this allowance opened. They left the meeting with a sense of purpose, ready to further their exploration of their merged capabilities. Their next steps took them to the research wing, where they planned to document and analyze their physiological and psychological changes. The lab was equipped with advanced diagnostic tools that could map neural pathways and biochemical processes in unprecedented detail. As they initiated the scans, Arya's alien understanding of bioelectric fields combined with Eliana's scientific expertise to adjust the equipment for deeper insights. The data streamed onto the screens in a symphony of colors and patterns, revealing the intricate dance of their conjoined biology and consciousness. These examinations not only provided a roadmap of their shared system, but also hinted at mechanisms by which other interspecies fusions might occur, potentially paving the way for a new kind of interspecies symbiosis. Through the days that followed, Eliana and Arya worked tirelessly, documenting every nuance of their experience. Their unique dual perspective revealed not just scientific data, but also philosophical insights into the nature of existence and consciousness. As their understanding deepened, so too did their bond, transforming not only their own lives, but potentially the fabric of interspecies interactions across the galaxies. With each discovery, they stepped closer to a future where the merging of minds and bodies could transcend the boundaries of species, creating a shared understanding that could bridge the vast expanses of space. In the research wing, the data Eliana and Arya collected began to shape new theories on cognitive fusion. The laboratory, filled with arrays of blinking consoles and softly humming machines, transformed into their sanctuary, a place where two beings, once alien to each other, now worked as one. They were pioneering a field that had no precedent, their every discovery scribbled down in notes that blurred the lines between xenobiology and cognitive science. One afternoon, as they delved into the neural synchronization patterns they shared, a startling anomaly emerged on the monitors. The waveforms, typically smooth and synchronous, showed spikes of erratic activity. This was not a malfunction of the equipment, but an emergent pattern that suggested something deeper was happening within their shared neural architecture. "Look at this," Eliana pointed to the screen, her finger tracing the jagged lines. "It's almost as if there are moments when our thoughts are not just aligned but are actually resonating at a higher frequency." Arya, observing the data, added, "It could be a sign of a deeper integration or perhaps a kind of feedback loop between our human and alien neural structures." They adjusted the sensors to focus more closely on the phenomenon, tuning the equipment to the nuances of their combined bioelectric fields. The patterns became clearer, revealing a complex tapestry of interaction that was more dynamic and vibrant than they had anticipated. Intrigued by these findings, they decided to conduct real-time experiments to see if they could control or enhance this resonance. They sat facing each other, electrodes attached to their temples, a silent countdown, and then a deep dive into a joint meditative state. As they synchronized their breathing and cleared their minds, the spikes in neural activity increased, then began to synchronize, creating a stunning pattern of harmony that neither had experienced alone. It was as though their thoughts were not just shared, but amplified, creating a new level of consciousness. "We are not just sharing thoughts, we are creating new ones," Arya whispered, her voice a mix of awe and excitement. "Yes, it's as if our minds are building something that neither of us could reach on our own," Eliana agreed, her scientific curiosity piqued by this unprecedented mental synergy. This breakthrough pushed them to consider broader applications. If their minds could achieve such a state, could this not be a way to foster peace or solve complex problems by linking minds across species? The potential was enormous, but they knew that with great power came great responsibility. They must tread carefully, documenting their steps and ensuring ethical standards were upheld. Their next move was to present their findings to the scientific community. Preparations for a symposium were made, where Eliana and Arya would showcase the potential of interspecies cognitive fusion. The audience would be a blend of human and alien scholars, all eager to witness the unveiling of this new frontier. As the day of the presentation approached, Eliana and Arya honed their data, compiling it into a visual and auditory presentation that would convey not just the science, but the profound emotional and existential implications of their fusion. The presentation was designed to be interactive, allowing the audience to ask questions and even experience a mild form of the neural resonance they had discovered. The symposium was set in the largest auditorium on Xylon 2. As the audience filled the seats, a mix of hushed excitement and skeptical curiosity permeated the air. Eliana and Arya took the stage, their presence a testament to the unity and potential harmony between species. As the lights dimmed, the first slide appeared on the screen, and Eliana began, "Today we share with you a journey that started with two minds, from two very different worlds, who now speak as one. We have discovered a symbiosis that allows for a shared consciousness, expanding our cognitive capacities and allowing for a deeper understanding of not only each other but perhaps the cosmos itself." The audience listened, rapt, as they unfolded the story of their fusion, demonstrating live data feeds of their neural activity, which danced across the screen in vibrant patterns. The room was filled with a sense of wonder, the potential of their findings dawning on everyone present. By the time the Q&A session started, the skepticism had largely evaporated, replaced by earnest inquiries and excited chatter about the future possibilities. This was more than scientific discovery. It was the dawn of a new era in interspecies relations, a beacon of hope in a vast and sometimes divided universe. The symposium ignited a flurry of excitement and debate within the academic community on Xylon 2. Scholars from various disciplines, both human and alien, sought collaborations with Eliana and Arya, eager to understand and possibly replicate the cognitive fusion they had achieved. As the implications of their research began to spread, Eliana and Arya found themselves at the heart of a burgeoning new field of interspecies communication and integration. With the influx of interest and resources, their laboratory expanded. New equipment was brought in, capable of more precise measurements and broader data analysis. This enabled them to refine their understanding of the neural resonance phenomenon, exploring its limits and potential applications. Amidst their groundbreaking work, Eliana remained keenly aware of the ethical dimensions that shadowed their experiments. She initiated a series of community outreach programs, aiming to demystify their work and engage the public in discussions about the benefits and risks associated with such deep interspecies connections. As part of these efforts, they organized workshops where volunteers, both human and alien, could experience a controlled version of the neural synchronization under careful supervision. These sessions were designed to foster empathy and understanding between different species, breaking down barriers of fear and prejudice. One afternoon during one of these workshops, a significant breakthrough occurred. A volunteer, a Gearconian named Tharex with a naturally telepathic nature, achieved a level of resonance with a human participant that went beyond any previous session. Their synchronized neural patterns not only mirrored Eliana and Arya's, but also showed enhancements in problem-solving and emotional reconciliation tasks. This could be a turning point, Arya noted, analyzing the data from the session. It suggests that the potential for interspecies resonance might extend far beyond us, possibly as a universal tool for peace and cooperation. Encouraged by these results, Eliana and Arya presented their findings at a planetary council meeting, proposing the establishment of a resonance initiative. This program would fund and support resonance research across different worlds, aiming to use the technology as a diplomatic tool, enhancing relations between the diverse civilizations within the Galactic Federation. Council members, once skeptical, now listened with vested interest. The demonstration of Tharex and the human volunteers session played a pivotal role in swaying their opinions. The visuals of their harmonized neural activity, alongside testimonials about the profound understanding and unity they felt, painted a compelling picture of the possible future. Imagine a federation where disputes are resolved not by politics and power, but by mutual understanding and shared perspectives, Eliana pitched to the assembly. This technology has the potential to weave a fabric of empathy and cooperation that could encompass all known species. The proposal was met with applause, and after a series of debates and amendments, was unanimously approved. Funding was allocated, and the Resonance Initiative was born. Eliana and Arya were appointed as its first directors, tasked with overseeing its implementation across various sectors of society. With this new role, they traveled to different planets, spreading the word and setting up resonance hubs. Each hub was tailored to the specific cultural and biological characteristics of the local populations, ensuring that the technology was used in a way that respected and enhanced the native ways of life. Throughout their travels, they witnessed remarkable transformations. Species that had long harbored mistrust towards each other began to find common ground. Trade disputes and territorial conflicts diminished, as leaders and citizens alike experienced the profound connection that resonance sessions offered. Back on Xylon 2, their original lab remained a hub of innovation and research. Young scientists, inspired by the work of Eliana and Arya, pushed the boundaries of what was possible with neural technologies. They explored new applications, from healing psychological traumas to enhancing educational methods, forever altering the landscape of interspecies interaction and understanding. The changes were profound, touching every aspect of society. What had begun as a daring experiment in a remote lab had grown into a movement that could potentially redefine relationships across the galaxy. Eliana and Arya, once pioneers of a controversial technique, were now leaders of a revolution in thought and empathy, guiding a multitude towards a more harmonious future. As the Resonance Initiative expanded, its influence became a cornerstone of interstellar diplomacy and societal integration. The hubs established across different planets evolved into cultural landmarks, places where beings from various worlds gathered not only to experience cognitive fusion, but to celebrate their diversity in unity. Eliana and Arya, though busy with their duties as directors, continued to push the boundaries of their original research. They were driven by a relentless pursuit of knowledge and the profound desire to see a universe bound not by force or fear, but by shared understanding and mutual respect. In their home lab on Xylon 2, they worked on refining the resonance technology to ensure it was accessible and safe for all species, regardless of their cognitive architectures. This involved intricate adjustments to the neural interfaces and the algorithms that facilitated the synchronization process, ensuring that each session was both effective and comfortable for participants. Their efforts bore fruit in ways that exceeded even their most optimistic predictions. Reports poured in from all corners of the galaxy about decreased conflicts and increased collaborations between species. Trade flourished as mutual trust was established, and former rivals now worked together to solve issues ranging from ecological restoration to space exploration. Amidst this wave of positive change, Eliana and Arya decided to host the first intergalactic resonance symposium on Xylon 2. The event was to be a celebration of all they had achieved, and a forum for sharing ideas on how to further the cause of peace and understanding. Scientists, diplomats, artists, and citizens from hundreds of worlds were invited to participate. The symposium was a vibrant tapestry of languages, colors, and ideas. Panels and workshops explored the nuances of interspecies communication, while art installations and performances showcased the emotional and cultural dimensions of the participants' homeworlds. Eliana and Arya opened the symposium with a keynote address that highlighted their journey and the profound lessons learned along the way. We stand here today, representatives of not just two species, but of a coalition of countless worlds, each with its own unique voice. Eliana addressed the gathering. Her words translated instantly into myriad alien languages by the translators embedded in the auditorium. Through the Resonance Initiative, we have found a path to understanding that transcends words and gestures. We have found the universal language of thought and emotion. Arya continued, "This symposium is not just a celebration of what we have achieved, but a beacon for what we can still accomplish together. Let us use this gathering as a catalyst for new ideas, new friendships, and new frontiers in our shared existence." The symposium unfolded over several days, each moment filled with the exchange of groundbreaking ideas and heartfelt stories of reconciliation and unity. A highlight was the unveiling of a new type of resonance technology that allowed for group sessions, enabling entire communities to sync their thoughts and emotions in real time, fostering a collective empathy previously thought impossible. As the symposium drew to a close, a declaration was made, the Xylon Pact, pledging continued support and expansion of the Resonance Initiative. The pact was signed by delegates of hundreds of species, each committing to uphold and spread the ideals of cognitive and emotional unity. Eliana and Arya watched as the signatures were collected, a sense of accomplishment filling them. They had started as two very different beings, driven by curiosity and a need for understanding. Now they stood as symbols of a possible future where the galaxy's myriad voices could merge into a chorus of harmony and mutual respect. Their legacy, encapsulated by the Resonance Initiative, promised a future where conflicts were resolved not through wars or negotiations, but through shared experiences and unified goals. As the participants departed, heading back to their respective worlds, it was clear that the seeds of a profound transformation had been sown. Under the stars of Xylon 2, Eliana and Arya looked out into the night, their thoughts intermingled with those of countless others across the galaxy. They were no longer just researchers or pioneers, but beacons in the ongoing quest for a united cosmos, a testament to the power of unity and the endless possibilities of the human and alien spirit.